The following podcast contains explicit language because, frankly, I am tired of editing out Sonia's swearing. She cannot help it. It's a constant problem, and I'm just tired of dealing with it. So you've been warned.
Smith.
Here it comes.
Fuck you. This episode is brought to you by
The S-Mart Department Stores of America. Shop smart. Shop S-Smart.
Houston, flight is go.
Mila, let's go. SPM.
From Assignment X, Amalgamated Storytelling, and thesoniashow.com, it's Dorking Out with Sonia Mansfield and Christopher Allen Smith. Welcome to episode 76 of Dorking Out, a podcast for people who like to dork out about stories and the stories in pop culture that we love. That means movies and TV, books and podcasts, and everywhere else we find stories that interest us. This is the Golden Globe nomination shocker Get Out as a Comedy edition. With me today is my co-host, Emmy Award-winning filmmaker and nerd author, Christopher Allen Smith.
Hey there, how's it going?
Hello. Hey
there. And with me today is my co-host, Emmy Award-winning filmmaker and nerd author, Christopher Allen Smith. The script is wrong. Our new format's blown.
Okay. Hey,
forget it.
So after a year and a half, we still don't know how to do the intro without the script.
It's not just the intro.
We don't know how to do anything.
We don't know how to do the show. With me today is my co-star, professional writer and blogger at thesoniashow.com for some reason, Sonia Mansfield.
Hello.
So, you might be noticing we're a little bit distracted.
Share the big news.
We're a little befuddled.
News.
We're getting married. No.
That's not happening. We're already
kidding.
married to other people.
That kind of ties into a joke you're going to hear on Wednesday's show. And you say, Wednesday's show? What does that mean? Well, here's the big news. We're redoing the format. For season 3 of Dorking Out, which starts with this episode, we are going to be bringing you the same amount of Dorking Out every week. But instead, we're breaking it up into essentially 2 or 3 segments that come out at various times throughout the week, depending on
bite size.
They're bite size.
We're the tapas of podcasts.
Yeah, what is tapas?
It's like the small plates. You know, when you go to a restaurant and you spend like $100 and then you leave hungry.
No, see, that's the thing. Oh, okay, see, that's the thing. I don't do that because that's dumb. That seems like one of those... Watch me now. It seems like one of those dumb big city things that people do that they talk themselves into, and this is the way to do it.
It totally is. I can't even defend it. It is 100% one of those dumb big city things. And anytime my friends are like, we're going to have tapas, David's like, pass, because he knows it means we're going to spend $100 and be hungry.
Right. Exactly.
Anyway, continue.
So, point is, we're going to be giving you about the same amount of Dorking Out show every week, but we're going to be doing it. Each episode is just going to have one topic. We're probably still going to mainly record on Sunday night, so we'll have an episode that comes out Monday, something that comes out Wednesday, Thursday, something that comes out Friday, Saturday.
Yeah,
depending.
That sounds right.
What this will allow us to do, hopefully, in the future, you would think we would do this with Star Wars this coming week, but we are definitely not doing it. What this might allow us to do in the future is, you know, a movie opens Thursday night, and by Saturday, we will have an episode for you where we tell you what you think and can actually help you in the first week that it's out decide whether or not you should go see it. Actually, now that I think about it, Sonia, you were correct when you said let's not do it for Star Wars because we were going to have no effect in any way whatsoever. So
no, people are going to see that no matter what.
Right. So, we're doing this episode today. Wednesday, we are doing another episode on The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And then Friday, Saturday, in celebration of Star Wars The Last Jedi, I'm going to be talking to Jeff Bond about Star Trek.
Yay! That's not weird.
Because,
no, it's not weird. It's good.
Because screw you, Star Wars
you guys,
fans.
Everyone's going to be talking about Star Wars. We're different.
Yes, we're talking about much less popular things.
That's what good dorks do.
That's right. We're going to be talking about Jeff Bond's new fantastic book on the art of the Kelvin timeline, and probably have a mini discussion about Quentin Tarantino's Star Trek movie, which is never going to get made. But that is just a tiny preview of what might be in Fridays/Saturdays whenever we get around to an episode.
Yeah,
Point
I'm
is,
looking forward. That's going to be fun. I think, you know what? Star Wars has gotten really cool. It's not really for nerds anymore. Star Trek is still for nerds.
Star Trek is, for a brief couple of years, Star Wars was kind of nerdy, but it was a pretty big phenomenon. It was always pretty popular. And then now it's into super popularity, and it's never going back. Star Trek had a couple years. Every couple years it blips in a little bit, has like a season or two of in the light, and then it's back down into the basement, kids.
Right.
So, yeah.
By the way, we're totally going to talk about Last Jedi next week, you guys. It's fine.
Oh, yeah. We're going to probably all 3 episodes of next week are going to be some Star Wars related something.
What are we talking about today?
What we're talking about today is the 2018 Golden Globe nominations that came out hours ago. Sonia and I have already made our judgments on them. This is essentially the most frivolous neighborhood in the most frivolous suburb of the burning of modern Rome. You can figure out for yourself what modern Rome is in this metaphor. So we're going to talk about the Golden Globe nominations. This is put out by the Hollywood Press Association, and the Globes set the tone every year for what movies and TV shows will be vying for awards in the following year. So this is essentially the beginning of Oscar season. This is the beginning of our Oscar dorking out. Right.
But as everyone knows, we will obsess about this until the Oscars.
Well, yes, that's true. We will obsess about it in varying degrees. I think, Sonia, tell me if I'm wrong, you're a little more obsessed with this, and since we've been doing the show, I've been getting more and more irritated with just the idea of the Oscars and the way that they do it, which we should say the Oscars are coming out March 4th, 2018.
I would say that is probably true. I do get very dorky about the Oscars because I have just always been very dorky about the Oscars. And I realize that they're stupid and it doesn't mean anything in that it doesn't change the movies I love. But for some reason, I super care, and I've always been into it ever since I was a little kid. It's just what I do.
Me too. I am one of those guys that bitches about it I'm like the baseball fan that bitches about their team every single year all the time. But then I watch every game, and it's like, wow, for something that you hate, you really can't shut up about it. That's right. Where I'm at. But actually, it's fun because we're going to start talking about the Golden Globes here in a second, and it's going to be chock full of evidence of why this is stupid.
WTF.
That's right. Which, last announcement, and we're going to be saying this over the next couple episodes to let you know, we are not going to be going out of our way to use potty mouths, but in the future, we will... See, I'm choking on it. I'm changing my ways, and the associated guilt, even though I don't feel guilt, is already making me cough. In the future, we're going to be saying some dirty words. We are taking off the bleeps. We're just going full adult language.
Yeah.
So what the fuck is going to be what the fuck? It's... You know what? Smith
said this in the episode that's coming out on Wednesday, too. He's just tired of trying to bleep me and rein me in.
Exactly. And part of me is wondering...
It's too much work.
It is too much work, but now that
I've got a dirty fucking mouth, you guys.
That's right.
It's been a lot of work on Smith's part to keep it clean.
Sweet Christmas. Yes. So... part of me is wondering, all right, we need a total going. We need a tally from one of our
I'm so glad
listeners.
We don't have... Are you saying we should start a swear jar? Or
No, I just want to see, at the end of...
And then I could put your kids through college.
At the end of 2018, how much swearing will I do? How much swearing will Sonia do? Because it's funny, because I think in my family, my extended family, I have a reputation of being somebody that has a pretty sailory mouth.
Yeah, that's me.
But I think you're much further along than I am.
Yeah. I just remember like 1 year at Thanksgiving, my grandmother was like, you should be watching your mouth. And, Sonia definitely has the dirtiest mouth. And I was like, that's fucked up bullshit.
That's right. And then you turned to Grandma and you said, hey, watch it, fuckstick.
Yeah.
I could.
And then I knocked her out of her chair.
That's right.
Because I'm a huge dick.
That's right.
Let's talk about the Golden Globes and not how I abuse the elderly. Hey, want more dorking out?
Yep.
You can visit our website at dorkingoutshow.com.
You can.
And you can like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter.
On Twitter.
Do you listen to us on iTunes?
Yep.
It's cool.
It's cool.
We won't tell anyone.
Nope.
Please take a few minutes out of your busy day of pretending to work while you watch cat videos to give us a review on iTunes.
Cat videos!
For some reason, iTunes really cares about reviews, and it helps us attract more listeners, and you want us to have more listeners and be popular and cool, don't you?
Yep.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
And now, on with the show.
Yeah. That brings us to topic that's on this show.
Just topic.
This morning, bright and early, amid the flames of what's remaining of Los Angeles, the Hollywood Foreign Press Association decided that they would put out the Golden Globe nominations for 2018. You would think in the current climate, maybe those journalists could be applied doing other things important in the country. But you know what? Who am I to judge?
Sometimes we need a little distraction.
Sometimes we do. And boy, does the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, those of them that can get into the country, provide a lot of distraction because, boy, howdy, these nominations are weird. We're going to go through some of them, and then Sonia and I are going to give our opinions.
Yeah.
Let's just alternate.
Yeah.
Topic by topic or category by category. Sonia Mansfield, can you please read the best motion picture drama category nominees?
Are you ready?
I am ready. What is going on? What is that beeping? What is that buzzing? What is that something?
Oh my God, he started again.
All right. For those of you who don't know and don't care, we're going to tell you anyway. We have been delaying the recording of this episode because
my landscaper's here. My gardener.
The diligent landscaper at Sonia's house he loves that blower.
He sure does. I'm so sorry, you guys. I hope it's not too loud. Is it too loud?
No, it's fine. He's living in San Francisco. He's great at blowing. And that's what he's doing. So, Sonia, all right. Best motion picture drama. Hit it.
Go. Call Me by Your Name, Dunkirk, The Post, The Shape of Water, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri.
Ugh. All right, sorry.
What do you think about these?
I'm gonna hold my judgment. I'm gonna jump on to Best Motion Picture, Musical or Comedy.
Okay.
The Disaster Artist, Get Out. Okay. The Greatest Showman, Tonya, and Lady Bird. Because it's hilarious. Best Motion Picture Director, Sonia Mansfield.
We don't want to talk about these?
We're gonna talk about them. We're gonna just let people know what they are. Best Motion Picture Director.
All right, sorry.
That's okay.
Director.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro.
Guillermo, come on. Now you're just messing with me. You can say Guillermo. Give me a break.
Martin McDonagh for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. Christopher Nolan for Dunkirk. Right. Ridley Scoot for All the Money in the World. And some dude named Stefan Spielberg for The Post.
Oh, yeah. I noticed that you were very careful on the Jewish part of his name. You didn't want to.
Yes.
You're all for mangling the pronunciation of our Latino friends and neighbors. But for the Jews, you're just spot on. Anyway, that's interesting, Sonia.
It's because they control this podcast.
Interesting. Best performance by an actress in a motion picture, Jessica Chastain, Molly's Game, Sally Hawkins, Shape of Water, Frances McDormand, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Already, this is getting too many nominations. Meryl Streep for The Post, and Michelle Williams for All the Money in the World, because apparently everything Michelle Williams is in, she's getting nominated for. Sorry, Sonia.
They just need to give her something already. But also, apparently the Hollywood Foreign Press has seen All the Money in the World, and they really like it.
Yes, they have. Actually, yeah, my understanding.
And they like The Post, too. And those movies are not playing here. So I have to take their word for it.
Yeah, my understanding is that they had essentially an unfinished version of All the Money in the World, which tells which co-starred Kevin Spacey. And 2 months ago, all this Kevin Spacey stuff came out. So Ridley Scott essentially went back, grabbed Christopher Plummer, reshot all the scenes with Kevin Spacey, put them all back in, and now it's coming out now. So let's go down to...
Well, yeah, go ahead.
Let's blast down here. We don't need to go through all of these actors and actresses. Let's go down to TV. Let's go down to screenplay, actually. Best screenplay, motion picture, Guillermo del Toro and Vanessa Taylor, The Shape of Water. Greta Gerwig, Lady Bird. Liz Hannah and Josh Singer for The Post. Martin McDonagh for 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri. Come on! And Aaron Sorkin for Molly's Game, which I'm very excited about. But I just listened to the Grierson and Leach podcast, and they're a couple of my favorite film critics currently, and they did not like Molly's Game. Anyway.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I thought it was very interesting. Sonia Mansfield, can you please read the best TV drama series?
Yes. Best TV drama series is The Crown, Game of Thrones, The Handmaid's Tale, Stranger Things, and This Is Us.
All right. And the best TV musical or comedy, Blackish, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
We have our review on Wednesday.
My lovely wife joined us to review that. That's coming out Wednesday. Master of None, Smilf, which I picked as a show I was very excited about, and look at that! And then Will and Grace, which, all right, I guess they're doing stuff again, so I guess they get nominated. Anyway.
There you go.
Best television limited series or motion picture made for television. This is... In recent years, this has probably been... This
is the one, right? This is the category.
This is the sexiest category. Listen to these nominees.
Big Little Lies, Fargo, Feud, Betty and Joan, The Sinner, and Top of the Lake, China Girl.
Which I have not seen Top of the Lake, but you told me Top of the Lake's fantastic, right?
It is fantastic, and I've heard really great things about The Sinner, and I actually haven't watched it yet, but maybe now that I see it's on here, maybe I need to make it happen.
Right. All right, Sonia Mansfield. There's a lot of, actors and whatever. Now that we've gone through this, let's cycle back up to... That gives you a taste of what's going on with these nominations. Yeah. And you're probably thinking, where's Wonder Woman? Where's The Good Place? Where's a lot of things? And now we're gonna talk. Now we're gonna have a discussion. Sonia Mansfield.
Yeah.
What do you think about these nominations?
I don't even know where to start. But so I'm going to start with director and the fact that they're all dudes. They're all dudes. Like Lady Bird has 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
Why is it not nominated for directing?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. I understand maybe why Wonder Woman isn't nominated for directing. It's a big blockbuster comic book movie. It's not usually something that gets nominated for that sort of thing.
Right. And in the third act, it's pretty problematic.
100% like that type of movie. And so is a movie I actually haven't seen yet, but read some good stuff about called Mudbound.
I've heard about it. Yeah.
And that is also directed by a woman and did not make the cut. And I was disappointed not to see Gal Gadot nominated because I think she's really, really great as Wonder Woman. And I think it's a good performance.
I agree. And it's funny because looking at the director list is a lot of times in past years, there's been, with the Oscars so white or kind of protests and discussions of women directors and stuff, a lot of the problems that I've had with some of the critiques is, well, A, because minorities and women don't get a lot of chances, the available pool to pull from for nominations is smaller. And then B, the question becomes, all right, of the directors that did get nominated, who would you pull out and say is not as deserving as, a minority or woman that you could put in? And a lot of times it's like, well, it'd be nice to nominate more minorities and women, but it's difficult to say this movie that didn't get nominated is more deserving than this other director that did. However, and the reason I'm saying all that, the reason I'm saying that and kind of going into that is Martin McDonagh, 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri. How is he nominated? And Greta Gerwig is not nominated.
Right.
His directing.
That's exactly the one I would have pulled out.
This is like obvious, I mean, Martin McDonagh, I guess, man, it's funny. I've heard people from, Martin McDonagh, he did In Bruges. He did 7 Psychopaths. He is an Irish playwright, movie director. He does good, interesting stuff sometimes. But, I think the more I think about 3 Billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri, the more I'm not loving it, the more kind of tone deaf and weird it is. And sometimes tone-deaf, weird choices in a movie work in its favor. This one, for me, it's kind of unraveling the more I think about it. So, yeah, to see Greta Gerwig not get a nomination and see that movie sitting there, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot of people loved like crazy Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk. I was not one of them.
I was also not one of them. It left me really cold.
He directed the crap out of that, so I don't think you can really pull that out. I have not seen Shape of Water yet, have not seen The Post or All the Money in the World. I would be willing to bet that Steven Spielberg deserves his spot here. But, yeah, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other one, of course, is the big thing, which is apparently Get Out is a comedy.
Oh, God, this is so...
So, by the way... So apparently now horror movies that like have a few jokes are comedies. So I want to know, where's the nomination for It?
Something. Well, here's the thing. And this is
I say remove The Greatest Showman and put in It. It is clearly a comedy. It's got a clown in it. It's got a few jokes. It's a comedy.
I haven't seen The Greatest Showman, so I'm going to reserve judgment.
I'm sure it's fine.
But I agree with it. Well, that's the thing is, the Golden...
They will always nominate a musical, by the way. If there's any musical to nominate, they will nominate it.
That's because they got to, because it's the best motion picture musical or comedy.
What was the one with Cher? Oh, my God. Burlesque.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember, that was a thing. Anyway,
well, remember,
we're talking about Get Out.
Let's remember that the Hollywood Foreign Press Association, and I'm saying this in the hopes that they will sue me, can be bought.
Oh, they totally can.
They can be.
I don't know if it's suable. Like, it's like common knowledge.
It is common knowledge, but I hope they hear this podcast and make some sort of issue, because this, it's ridiculous. But what I was going to... My frustration with this is... This has been a constant theme with trying to give awards to visual arts or art in general. In that, comedies never get nominated. There are entire slices of society and the human experience that never get respect because they're not serious. There's this desperate need in Hollywood for the producers, directors, actors and actresses, writers to think of themselves as serious people.
Right.
And when TV and movies are done as well as they can be, they really do deliver something and give something to society that is incredibly valuable, incredibly nourishing, incredibly revealing. But sometimes there's just not enough movies that deserve accolades in a given year. So things like Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri slip in. But what it's turned into, sorry, let me just rush through this real quick. The best drama category is not the best drama category. It's the best I'm a serious movie and probably costume drama category.
Right.
And then it's not the best musical or comedy category. It's the everything else category.
Yeah, it's the also ran category.
Right. And here's the thing.
And that's what, go ahead.
Oh, well, last thing I'm going to say is here's the thing is this is definitely a situation. We heard this. You and I talked about this when we had heard rumblings of Get Out being submitted for the musical or comedy category. And this happened a couple years ago with The Martian. Right. This is completely a result of weird rules constructions that there can only have 5 nominations in each category. And because of that, you really do have good, deserving movies that deserve to be in the drama category spilling over into the music and comedy category. I think the world would be much better served if you had one category for 15 movies. Yeah. 15 nominations, the best motion picture category, but it's 15 nominations so you can get all the big prestige dramas in there, you can get a couple nice surprises, and you can get the deserving comedies in there.
It's just what makes me crazy about this is, comedies get like no love, no award show love. They have this one category, and now studios are like cynically are like, well, we want our movies to like get awards, so they submit something like Get Out in this category. So they put something like The Martian in this category just to get an award that's not even appropriate for it. It's not appropriate for it to be in this category. And it takes the slot of a movie that should be in there. Like The Big Sick should be in here.
Yeah, exactly.
It's bullshit that it's not in here. Like, it makes me mad that it's not in here because it is a really good romantic comedy, which are hard to make.
Right. I agree.
And it's, everyone's wonderful in it. It's really well written, and no love for it because the studios are like, well, we're going to put, Get Out in here. And this isn't a knock on Get Out. Get Out's one of my favorite movies of the year. It should be under drama. Like, you could take Three Billboards out and put in Get Out.
Exactly, and I wish they had. But and I'll agree with you. Here's where I will actually defend the studios a little bit. If I were in the studio marketing department, knowing what awards means, knowing they help get your stuff out there, knowing that it's nice to be recognized for doing great work, I would totally game the system as much as I could. We've talked about this before with the Emmys and all that kind of stuff. I have read those rules very closely in almost a lawyer-like fashion to try to figure out what I'm going to submit my stuff to. That's on me, and that's on the studio, is if they let you do it, if it's in the rules, have at it. I blame the Hollywood Foreign Press Association because their rules are obviously so gameable and dumb, and I don't want to say arbitrary because they have a hard and fast 5 nomination limit, but it's just, it's the Hollywood Foreign Press Association should redo their rules to make this impossible. But B, it's the Golden Globe, so kind of what do you want?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Well, the other thing I wanted to bring up was they're really good. The Golden Globes are really good at certain things when it comes to like TV. They're really good at kind of like getting on an underappreciated show early. Mm-hmm. So something like Marvelous Miss Maisel or like the lead in 13 Reasons Why is nominated. They are able to kind of skew younger, something the Emmys don't really do. Like they don't nominate like younger things. But then you look in the movie category, go back to movies, and it's like best performance by an actress in a musical or comedy. It's like Judi Dench, Helen Mirren. Like, come on.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Like,
which
by
actually,
the way, like Tiffany Haddish is so funny in Girls Trip. She is like, remember when?
That's right.
So Bridesmaids came out a couple years ago, and Melissa McCarthy just ran away with that movie. She was so funny.
Right.
She was nominated for everything. Tiffany Haddish is in the Melissa McCarthy role. She's just as funny. She's just as awesome.
Right.
I'm like, where's the love for her?
That's right.
And these, no offense to Judi Dench or Helen Mirren, because they're awesome, but come on.
Well, right.
How
that's
about an actual funny
I agree 100% because
performance?
I was watching Donald Sutherland on 60 Minutes last night, and they were talking about The Leisure Seeker, where he plays a nice older man who is unraveling from dementia, and Helen Mirren plays his understanding wife. And I got to tell you, I have a hard time believing that movie...
That sounds hilarious.
That movie is a comedy, and I know for a fact it's not a musical. Yeah. So what is it doing here?
I can't wait to see The Leisure Seeker. It sounds so fun.
I kind of do. Like I do want to see it, but it's just like, all right, this is dumb. That's
just dumb.
And I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's go back to director. What am I thinking? Yeah. Jordan Peele not being nominated as best director. Think about the movie. Yeah. Think about where he came from.
Yeah,
what
that's
he
bullshit
accomplished.
Too.
It's insane. Like, all right, now let's look at, well, this is, we take out Martin McDonagh and we put in Greta Gerwig. And I guess, you know what? Screw it. We just need to put him in. We need 6 categories. Yeah, you know what? The more I talk about this, the more the 5 nominee limit is just, is the source of a lot of this arbitrary dumbness.
Is they randomly will expand the categories in the past.
Will they? In the Golden Globes?
Haven't they?
I thought that they did that in the Oscars, but I don't know. If they did,
maybe they have. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn there.
Well, you might not be, but if you're right, that makes this year even weirder. Yeah. All right, so let's see.
Before we move on to TV, I want to mention one other thing. Right. Boss Baby is nominated for animated feature, which tells me there were not a lot of good animated features this year.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, that's the thing. And I'll go back to my Emmy experience again, is at least with the local Emmys, some years they'll like have a category and they will say no worthy entrants submitted for this category.
So we're not
really? Giving this award away because nobody's good enough to get this.
Just cut it down to 4.
Exactly.
Like just leave Boss Baby off.
That's the point. You know? Now
I'm so surprised that Despicable Me 3 isn't on this list or something like.
Well, let me ask you, Sonia, and I would like to interject here. If you feel the need to tweet us or email about the buzzing in the background, we are not interested. Just keep those to yourself. We got it.
You guys.
No, don't apologize. It happens. We're explaining it. It's not like, it's like a air raid siren directly into people's ears or something. It's just we know it's not crystal clear, perfect anyway. Whatever. So, Boss Baby, I don't know what they're thinking. So let's move on to television, Sonia Mansfield. Yes. The best television series drama, Crown, Game of Thrones, Handmaid's Tale, Stranger Things, This Is Us. I think we're at the point where we need to start watching This Is Us, because I have heard everybody that I'm interested in when it comes to pop culture
say that it's a good show.
Say that it's a good show. It consistently, it's one of the few network shows that consistently is getting love. I think we need to circle around and watch This Is Us.
Okay.
Having said that, now this has been podcast planning. And
welcome to we talk about things we need to do for the show.
That's right. But about this category, how do you feel about these nominees?
Well, I haven't seen This Is Us, and I haven't watched The Crown. But I know that you really like The Crown, and it's won a lot of stuff before. So I'm not really surprised to see it on here. These are good shows, right? There's nothing like awful in here where you're like, ew, how's that nominated? Well, like if you scroll down a little and we go to like Best Actor in a Comedy, it's like, You guys, I'm pretty sure Shameless isn't a comedy. Could we please stop nominating William H. Macy for comedy?
Yeah, I think people just love William H. Macy. They're used to laughing at him. There you go.
I mean, I love him too, but I'm just saying. And then when I go to comedy, so Blackish, Marvelous Miss Maisel, Master of None, Smilf, and Will and Grace, I was like, I think you could take out Will and Grace and put The Good Place in there.
Yes, that's right. I say that having loved the first season of The Good Place and watched half of the first episode of season 2 of The Good Place, and it's stacking up. I think I'm just going to blast through it one of these days. But The Good Place, Will and Grace. All right, I don't mean to get all judgmental or whatever, but I don't know. It's fine.
Well,
I understand it's an important place in television history, but
I watched the first new episode and I was like, yeah, sure. Will and Grace, it's still a thing. Like it's like exactly the same show.
Let me ask you this.
I appreciate what they're doing. Like, it's filmed in front of an audience. It's that old school sitcom. I get it. And they're all really great. And you could tell they're having fun together. And in that way, it's very fun to watch. But like at the same time, like I haven't watched it again since I watched that first episode. Because I was like, yeah, I got it. Got it.
What? Let me ask you this. What? I understand that it's great, and I understand it holds an important place in television history, but it almost feels like, seeing it here, it almost feels like somebody putting a Model T into the Indy 500. It's like, yes, there was a time when the Model T was the most technologically advanced things that humans did on 4 wheels, and it was an amazing experience, but 50 years later, even if you soup it up, even if you add everything, even if you add GPS to the Model T, it just sticks out as this weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. I like the best performances by an actress in a comedy. This is like a really good group. So it's like Pamela Adlon from For Better Things, Alison Brie, Rachel Brosnahan, Issa Rae, and Frankie Shaw. These are all like, this is good. This is like a nice mix of people that haven't been nominated before. I mean, I don't know if any of them have been nominated before.
I feel like Alison Brie's got to be nominated before, but now that we're talking about it, yeah, probably not. Yeah, Frankie Shaw, Smilf. It's on Showtime. It's basically a single mother, Smilf, who. That's it. She's this kind of struggling actress, temp worker with a new kid, and that's the show. It's not any kind of crazy lawyer, cop, doctor, bells and whistles sexiness. It's just kind of working class woman trying to make her way through Boston, and that's about it. I guess that is the kind of, I don't want to say the sexy part, but the interesting twist or the interesting element, which is it's Boston. We get to see a lot of Boston Southie talk.
Right.
Which
I really like Alison Brie being nominated for Glow. I think Glow is awesome. It was definitely one of my favorite things to watch this year. I'm going to scroll down because I need to see. I don't think he's nominated. Mark Maron is not nominated, I assume.
I don't think so.
I thought he was really terrific in Glow. But anyway, I like Glow. What else do we want to talk about with TV?
Let's take a look here. So we went through the comedies, went through the dramas. Best television. Well, actually, you know what? It's funny because we congratulated ourselves on talking about how the Golden Globe sets the trend for the next year, but seeing Big Little Lies, it's like, oh, yes, these are nearly a year old. These are nearly a year out of date.
Isn't that weird? I was like, didn't we already do this?
Yeah. Big Little Lies already blasted through the Emmys, so this is not going to have any effect on anything. And actually, that is weird, because Transparent was one of the first places that got nominated from the Golden Globes, which then went on, if I remember correctly, to get it nominated for Emmys. And now everything seems backwards. Like, yeah. Let me take a look here. Boom, boom, boom. This is the sound of me reading my computer.
I haven't watched Ozark. Have you watched Ozark?
You know, I haven't. I've heard about it. Essentially, an accountant working for a drug dealer, and he maybe becomes like some sort of drug lord because he's really good at laundering money. And it's like, got it. I've already seen Breaking Bad. I've already seen the story of a suburban man becoming this crazy crime lord. And I'm tired. I'm so tired of.
I love
genre
Jason
shows.
Bateman. I love him. He is like, I've had a crush on him since I was like 13. I super love Jason Bateman, and even I haven't watched that show.
Yeah.
And the Golden Globes need to stop pretending that Ray Donovan is a thing and stop nominating it for stuff. Nobody's watching that except for my sister.
Well, then definitely needs to be ignored.
Have you watched The Good Doctor?
I haven't. This has been Sonia has a beef with her sister moment.
I just don't think it's a very good show. That's all. And she super loves it. And I'm like, really? Like,
take that, Michelle.
No, it's just not a good show, in my opinion. I like Liv Schreiber very much, but not in this show. I think it's a bad show, but she really likes it. Anyway, I haven't watched The Good Doctor.
No, I haven't watched it. Not interested.
It's about like an autistic doctor. People can't believe I haven't watched it. I have an autistic son. I need to watch it.
I got to tell you, let me ask you that. Is that really irritating? It's like you have an autistic son. Got it. You're living your life with your son. Got it. And then everybody's like, hey, Sonia, this show's about an autistic doctor. Do you watch it? What do you think? That would drive me up the wall.
It's not that bad. I mean, I think they're just so surprised by the answer. When the answer is, nah, I'm like, no. Like, and maybe I don't need to watch it. Maybe I live it. Or maybe it's just, I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. That's all. Like, I've checked out the other ones. I watched an episode of Atypical on Netflix. I thought it was fine. It just, I was like, yeah, sure. That's a thing. Like, I like it fine. I watched a couple episodes of The A Word. Thought it was fine. Haven't gone back to it.
Never heard of it. Sorry, keep going.
I think it's a BBC like Sundance Channel type.
Holy smokes! Wow, that is obscure squared. Anyway, maybe it's, you know what it is? Maybe it's just me speaking as a white man.
When I was going through breast cancer, the C word was also like a thing. With Laura Linney playing like a cancer patient, and a lot of people were like, are you watching the C word? And I was like, no, the last thing I want to watch is like a show about cancer.
That's right. Yes. Because Laura, I haven't watched the show, but
I'm watching a lot of diners, drive-ins, and dives. I'm not watching shows about cancer.
That's right.
And I couldn't watch Breaking Bad for a little while. I was like, I can't do it right now.
Right.
And then I got up and watched it, and it was awesome. But
yeah, exactly.
It was just so funny. It was like the last thing I need is a show about cancer.
Exactly. And because I haven't watched the show. What was that? What was that?
Or any medical drama. I was like, I'm not watching House or Grey's Anatomy or any of that stuff when I was going through that.
Right. Because I would be willing to say I have not watched 1 minute of the C Word. However, I could tell you that Laura Linney.
I can tell you how it ends.
Well, yeah, maybe. I don't know. She either lives or she doesn't. But I can tell you for a fact, some of her new cancer friends die to show you what a difficult situation she's in. So I can imagine why it would not be any fun for you at all.
Alert! Cancer sucks.
That's right.
FYI.
And
I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but cancer is really bad.
Actually, you know what? You should spoil cancer for us. Let us know what's going on before we get there. Thank you. Yeah. And what I was going to say a minute ago, and maybe this is my own, as speaking as a white man, if I had people come up to me and
glad you're here to speak for the white man because...
Well, no, listen. You'll understand this. Well, no, that's my point exactly. If I had people coming up to me and saying, hey, as a white man, have you seen this new show? Have you, as a white man, have you seen this new movie starring a white man? I would pull my hair out so much, my skull would come with it. That would be insane.
Man, have you seen the show? It's called Every Show That's on TV. Have you watched it?
I've tried. Sorry. Anyway.
As a man, have you watched Twin Peaks?
Yes, exactly.
Nothing for Twin Peaks in here other than Kyle MacLachlan.
And this goes out to friend of the show, Raymond Scott Daigle, who's going to be on to talk about Star Wars in about a week. He cannot get enough of Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is probably his favorite cultural thing of 2017. I love the guy, but I think that this is one nomination too many for Twin Peaks.
I actually think Kyle MacLachlan is really great in Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
So, like, him nominated, that makes sense to me. Jude Law being nominated for Young Pope does not make sense to me.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. Robert De Niro I watched The Wizard of Lies because I'm still waiting for Barry Levinson to put out a great movie. I loved his early stuff so much. Anyway, Wizard of Lies. Yeah, that's fine. I guess I don't know. This is such a weird grab
Jude
bag.
Law's nomination to me says, like, I don't know, what was on HBO this year?
Pretty much.
Yeah, let's nominate that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like lazy. It's a lazy nomination.
That's right. Actually,
there's no way there wasn't somebody better they could have put in that spot.
Right. 40% of this category are lazy HBO nominations. All right. Sonia Mansfield, is there anything else that you want to talk about when it comes to the Golden Globes?
I think I've said plenty.
Here's one thing that I would like to say, and then we're going to close this out. You and I need to we have our lists for our favorite stories of the year.
Top 10, right?
Yeah, we do top 10. Instead of doing top 10 TV and top 10 movies, we just do top 10 stories of the year that we like. You and I need to rethink. We need to come up with some sort of awards that we can maybe put online or something like the Grady's or I don't know what, where it's just where we take all of our opinions about how to do an award show and how to actually nominate things and apply it to
we would give out the dorkies.
The dorkies. That would be good. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. We need to come up with a dorkies award, but not do it as this kind of like, hey, we have a show, so we're putting out our own little awards. They're the dorkies. I'm talking about a real serious attempt to make real rational categories, real rational nominations, and let things get.
If this results in me getting for your consideration screeners, I'm into it.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that. I was actually
I'm always thinking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. For your consideration screeners.
All right.
Sexy.
So, listeners, please. I like the dorkies. That's a funny little thing, but if we can think of another name that isn't so okay, you know what? That isn't literally so dorky. Let us know if you have any ideas about what we could name these awards. Dorkies is the current front runner because there is an entrant of one. Please
I'm
let
gonna
us
win.
know.
What do I win? I win a dorky.
You win the responsibility of helping me put this together, and actually it's probably mainly going to be you putting it together. So there you go. All right. That is the dorkies. That is the Golden Globe reaction episode. That is the first episode of season 3 of Dorking Out with our new format.
Yay!
Sonia Mansfield. Is there anything else that
Should
you
we
would
do
like to say?
Are we going to tell people where they can find us?
Oh, yeah. We are going to do that.
So, you guys, you can find us on Twitter at Dorking Out Show, and you can find Chris at Jet Jurgens and me at The Sonia Show.
You can read all about Sonia's random adventures at thesoniashow.com and track the glacial pace of my writing and blogging at jetjurgens.com.
And you could go to dorkingoutshow.com, and while you're there, there's a little link, and you could go to Apple Podcasts and give us a review. We would do it for you. Right. Do it for us. You guys, we need reviews.
We need 5-star ratings.
Do it.
We need validation. please let us know. So, all right. That is the long, rambly first entrant in Season 3 of Dorking Out. Sonia Mansfield, is there anything else that you would like to say before we close out today's episode?
Season 3! Woo! And goodbye.
Bye!
This has been a presentation of Rocket Spots Media.